Hello students, welcome back to the new session. Now I hope all of you have done your assignment, and if not, please do that so that you know where and how much you have learned till date. Alright, if you have if you have done any mistake or if you have any confusion in this session, in this quick revision, I'll show you how to draw this so that you're also clear how to use these points, how to use your line tool, and through these points how to draw this figure. Now here I have not given you the units of measurement for any line. I have just given you points, so you actually had to study this grid and specify which all points are there which you need to click on your screen, which you need to type on your screen. So here, as it is already shown, this is my origin. So according to origin, my first point is on 3, 1. My x is 3 and my y is 1. Now my second point would be, if you count till in the y direction, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Accordingly, the next point will be 3, 6. X will be 3, same as your 1, and y will be 6. Next point will be 4, 6. X 4, y 6. The fourth point will be 4, 2. Then 5, 2. 6, 3. Please check in your assignment notebook whether these are correct or not. Or any point if you have done incorrect, please correct it. My seventh point will be 7, 3. My eighth point will be 7, 1. And in the last, I will close it with C, enter. Okay. Now I'll show you how to do it in AutoCAD. See, L, enter. The first point, 3, 1. My cursor has been captured in the first point. My cursor is showing my first point now. Next is 3, 6. See, the vertical line I have received. Next, 4, 6. I have stepped one more in X, but my Y remains the same. Now I have to come down. So my X would be 4. It will remain same, but my Y will change. 4, 2. Alright. Next is 5, 2. Then 6, 3, because I have to go above for a diagonal line. Next, 7, 3. Then 7, 1. Now I have to just close it, so C, enter. This is my figure. I'll show you again. This is my figure. So assignment 1 is clear. If you have not done it, please do it and submit. Okay. Now let's move on to the current topic, relative coordinate system. Alright. In the last class, I had told you there are 4 types of coordinate systems through which we can give points in the system. So the second one is, for last class we did the absolute coordinate system. For this assignment you have done. Now the next one is relative coordinate system. Now relative coordinate system can be done through 2 ways. One is relative rectangular coordinate system and the second is relative polar coordinates. Alright. In 2 ways I can type my coordinate in my system. Alright. Before going further, I want you to study this figure. Here again there are 4 quadrants and I have shown you the polar angles here. Starting from the 0 degree, that is in the x-axis, in the first quadrant, every 30 degree is my jump. So 30 degree, 45, 60 and then 90. 90 will be my y. Then 120, 135, 150 and then 180. 180 is my minus x. 210, 225, 240 and the last one 270. 270 is my minus y. 300, 315, 330 and it goes to 360 in the x-axis. Okay, so these are the angles. You'll know in the coming up slides why I'm going through this angles. Okay, this is also a very important aspect for you to memorize. Okay, so let's move on to the relative rectangular coordinates. How do you type the relative rectangular coordinates? First and the foremost point which you need to learn different from the absolute coordinate system is, in this relative rectangular coordinate system, you have to type at the rate as your reference point to start before starting your points. Like in absolute, we were typing x comma y. In relative rectangular coordinates, we'll type at the rate x comma y. At the rate means from this point. So the most important thing which you need to understand is, each time a new point is picked, that point becomes the zero reference point. So basically, when I talk about the origin, as per this origin, this is my first quadrant, the positive quadrant, this is my second quadrant in which my x becomes minus, third quadrant in which both are negative, and the fourth quadrant where the y is negative. But this system follows when my origin is 0 at this point. But in relative rectangular coordinate system, when I specify a point on my screen and start typing at the rate, now this first point will become my origin. Alright, and my values will be different in relative coordinates. Like for example, I'll draw a rectangle here with the measurement of 4 units by 3 units. Alright, now I'll type line or I'll enter. Then my first point I'll take as 1, 1 on my grid. Now I'll press enter. And now the next point I'll do is at the rate 4, 0. My x will be 4. The dimension of my x will be 4 and my y will be 0 because it's on the original line. Alright. Now, when I want a vertical line, when I click enter, now my origin becomes this point. My 4, 0 is my origin now. Now my reference point is this. From this point, I'm going above. So again, I'll type at the rate. Now my x is 0 on this point, but I need 3 units up. So x at the rate 0, 3 and press enter. So I'll get a vertical line here. Now this point becomes my origin, my reference point. From this point, if you see, I'm going towards left. When this is 0, when I go to left, this is my minus 6. Same way, when this is my 0, now I have to go towards left. So this will be my minus 6. So I have to type at the rate minus 4 as my x and y is my 0 because this is my 0. My minus 4, 0 point becomes the reference point. Now from here, I am again going downwards. That is in the third quadrant. So my y is 0 in the third quadrant. So at the rate 0 is my x, minus 3. Enter. And then the last, press enter again to come out of the command. You need not type C here. Alright. Again, I'll repeat the most important part. Each time when you pick a new point, this point, this point, this point, that point becomes the 0 reference point. That becomes the origin, in simpler words. All of you are confused? No need to be. I'll show you in the Autocad screen. First, we'll delete this. So how will we delete it? I have told you the shortcut key, Control A. All the objects are selected. Delete. Alright. Now, I'll type L, enter. I'll take my starting point as 1, 1, like in absolute. Now, in order to start the relative coordinate system, I have to type at the rate. Now, I want to draw a rectangle of 5, or I'll draw the same one with the same units so that you get a reference. The reference is 4 by 3. Alright. So 4 units. I need 4 units. So I'll type at the rate 4 as my x, comma 0. Because y is on my 0 axis. Enter. See? I've got my next point. Now this is my reference point. So according to this reference point, I'm going towards up. So going towards up means I'm still in the positive part. So I'll type at the rate, so that at the rate means from this point. When it takes this point means this is 0. Now my y-axis I have to type, so my x will be 0, comma, y will be 3. Enter. I've got the 3 unit. Now I have to go in the left direction. When I type at the rate, this is my 0. So I have to type minus 4, comma 0. Got my point? Because of this at the rate, this point is becoming my reference point. This point is becoming my origin. So as per the origin, when you are here, when you go towards this, definitely this is minus, no? Minus x. Now coming down means I'm going towards this side. Alright. So again I have to type at the rate 0, comma, minus 3. Enter. And still my line is not complete. So enter again to come out of the command. Here, please do not use escape. You don't have to cancel the command. You have to complete the command. So press enter. Alright. I hope you all are clear now. Alright. This is the assignment. This is your origin. This is your first point. Same 3, 1. Now try to draw this. Alright. I'll tell you how to draw in the next class. Alright. But you try at your level using the relative rectangular coordinates. Alright. Don't think I have not given you units. You can count the points and you get the units. Because my grid is 1. So this means 4 units. This is 1 unit. 1 unit. Remember this. Alright. Don't use absolute. You have to use it relative. I've already given you a hint. Next. The second part. Relative polar coordinates. Now, in this, we use the angles. Basically, in simpler words, I'll be using this formula. At the rate means from this point. Distance, I'll specify the distance like 4 units, 5 units, less than angle. I will specify the angle which I want. This is the polar coordinate system. Alright. So in this, I'll type L, enter. I'll type my first point, that is 1, 1 again, and press enter. I'll take the origin. Now if I want to draw a line with 30 degree, see the reference here? I'll type at the rate means from this point, take 5 units as length and draw a line in the 30 degree angle. So it will take 5 units in the 30 degree angle and press enter. That's all. Done. Alright. Doesn't mean 30 degree. If you're drawing, you want a horizontal line, 0 degree. If you want a vertical, 90 degree. Alright. For this, I had first taken your polar coordinates in the first slide. Alright. This is very important. As I said, it is very important. I'll show you one example for polar coordinates as well. I'll draw a rectangle here with polar coordinates and you will get to understand. I'll repeat. L, enter. Specify a point. So 1, 1, 1, 1. Now I'll use polar coordinate system. So at the rate, I want 5 units less than 0 degree. I need it in 0 degree. Alright. So it's taken 5 units. Now at the rate 4 units less than 90 degree. It's going up. Now I have to go this side. So this is my 180. At the rate 5 units less than 180 angle. I have to come down. So at the rate 4 units less than 270. Press enter. My rectangle is ready. 0 degree, 90 degree, 180, 270. Alright. So till now, have you got the difference? In absolute, we were just mentioning the points as in graph points. In relative rectangular coordinates, we were specifying at the rate and taking as the point as a 0. In relative polar coordinates, we are using the formula at the rate distance less than angle. Alright. So this is your assignment 3. So you have 2 assignments today. Please try to attempt. Alright, at least attempt. Here I've given the measurements as well. In the next class, I'll show you how to do this assignment. Okay. Thank you, students. And yeah, before ending the session, I'll tell you in the next session, we'll do the third coordinate system, that is direct distance entry. And definitely a quick revision in which I'll show you how to do the assignment 2 and assignment 3. Okay. Thank you.